I'm disappointed. I'm gutted, but I'm not surprised. This is the exact outcome, not method, but this is the outcome that I predicted. That Kayla Harrison was going to go out there and dominate Julianna Pena, just outclass her in the grappling, and that Pena just was not going to be able to thwart off Kayla's style. Like, Kayla's just too big, too strong, and honestly, Pena, her takedown defense held up way better than I expected. Like, you could tell she was ready. Her balance looked good against the cage. She didn't make it easy, but Kayla being Kayla having out-grappled bigger, stronger girls and taking down girls with better takedown defense than Pena, it didn't matter. Even if she improved her takedown defense, she was still going to get taken down. And this fight was already lost from the first round. The moment Kayla took her down and Julianna threw an up kick, 2 or 3 up kicks, and then lost the point, I'm like, yeah, it's done. I'm like, if this goes to a decision, now that Julianna has lost a 10-8 round, she's bound to lose a decision. It just felt that way. I mean, maybe not if she could have at least won round 2 and then won the last 3 if she didn't get finished early. But she was losing the second round, and, the commentators were saying, yo, if this goes to a decision, it's either going to be a draw or Kayla's going to win the fight. So I had no hope. My hope was already crushed. But I was hoping, okay, maybe Julianna can survive round 2. Like, my glimmer of hope for this fight was Julianna gets out of the first 2 rounds, and maybe Kayla's bad weight cut will catch up to her. Maybe the gas tank will fade. Maybe Julianna will start to settle into the fight, and maybe there will be a bit of a comeback upset. And the saddest thing ever is it was literally the end of the second round. I'm like, come on, Julianna, 40 seconds, 33 seconds, you can make it, you're almost there. And then she freaking tapped. I was like, come on, man. Like, I was dejected, bro. I almost freaking cried. I mean, I didn't actually cry, but I felt like it, man. I was hurt, man. Seeing Julianna get finished. She hasn't been finished since 2020. She lost the belt again on her first defense again, like I predicted, after just winning it back. It's so sad because, like, in any other era, Julianna Pena could be a defending champion. If she didn't have to rematch Amanda Nunes, or if she won the belt from someone else and Nunes wasn't in the same era, and bantamweight was as shallow as it is now without Nunes or Kayla in the picture, Pena's a defending champion. But of course, the Nunes rematch, she couldn't beat her twice. And then now she gets the belt back. Kayla Harrison's in her division, and there's nothing she can do about it. She just had to show up, face the music, and take the L and go home. And the sad part is, I heard Julianna was standing by waiting to be interviewed, and they just didn't even give her the mic. And I guess maybe that's because Nunes came in the octagon and her and Kayla did that face-off. But fuck! I knew it was going to happen, but god damn it, it still hurts. It still stings. Like, I knew Kayla was going to win. I had slight hope, but I didn't keep my hopes up. I'm like, most likely Harrison's going to get the job done. Too big, too strong. And I actually did say it's possible that she could submit Pena. I picked her by a dominant decision, but I did say, you know what? Kayla could get a submission. I thought it could be a rear naked choke, actually, not a Kimura, but hey, I'm not even surprised that she got a Kimura. Kayla Harrison is deadly on the ground. Like I said, she's got threatening subs from the top position. I mean, Julianna's a threat with her subs off her back, but Kayla, great positional awareness, smothering on top. She wasn't going to give Pena that space to, whip up an armbar. But you know what? At least Julianna didn't fight a horrible fight, She didn't fight a horrible fight. She did the best she could to defend those takedowns. She actually did a great job mitigating damage off her back. Like, Her ground and pound defense was good. She didn't get busted up by elbows. She avoided damage. She just couldn't survive the second round because her arm, even with a second left, was probably a second away from breaking, even though there was a second left of the second round. But you know what, man? At least Julianna was the champion. I know people won't give her the respect she deserves, but fuck the haters, man. Julianna did the unthinkable. Was the only one to beat Nunes in the 2020s. And if Kayla can't do it, it only further makes Pena look good that she was the only one to do it in recent memory. She, came back from losing to Nunes after a 2-year layoff. I didn't even pick her to beat Raquel. It felt like the odds were stacked against her against Pennington, and she managed to win that fight against Pennington, who was on a 6-fight win streak and was the active world champ and confident, had momentum. Julianna had no momentum, coming off a loss and a 2-year layoff, and yet she came back and became the 2-time champion. Okay, that is a good accomplishment. She may have not been able to defend the belt. It sucks, but we cannot fault Julianna for these losses. She's losing to some of the best fighters in the world. Amanda Nunes, who's beating everybody. Kayla Harrison, who's beating everybody. But against other fighters, Julianna will do well, right? She's only losing to champions. She's not losing to scrubs. Okay? She's still one of the best of the best. She's just not the best, unfortunately. She just can't. It's just not meant to be. Being an all-time great just isn't part of her legacy. But being the underdog who came back from adversity, who defied odds, climbed the top of the mountain, that's part of her legacy. At least being the champion, say what you want about her, at least she was the champion. Whether you love her or hate her, she won the belt. And as a fan, I can be content that she won the belt not once, but twice. And I would have been gutted if she never got the belt back against Raquel. Even though I said going into the Raquel fight, I want her to win, and I know as a sacrifice, she's going to have to be the one to lose to Kayla, but as long as she can get the belt back, I'm eating good. But now, Nunes versus Harrison is the next fight, and I'm interested. Clash of the Titans. And I just knew this fight was inevitable and it was destined to happen. I said going into this fight that there's just no way Julianna's going to spoil one of the biggest fights in women's MMA history. Nunes Pena 3 doesn't need to happen. The second fight was already enough closure, and I feel like a third fight would just be extra unnecessary punishment, against Julianna Pena. Although maybe she'd have a chance with Nunes' inactivity, but if Nunes is at her best, I just don't see Pena ever beating her again. That was a one-off win, unfortunately. But Kayla, like Nunes Pena, we've seen that twice. But Kayla, who's dominant, she's a force to be reckoned with. She's running through everyone in the UFC. That's something Amanda Nunes was doing. And, Nunes was that Goliath who was just knocking down everybody, got bored, left in. And in her absence, a new dominant force arose. And now that has enticed the old queen to come back. And we're going to find out end of the year. Is the old queen going to reclaim her throne? Or is Kayla going to cement herself as the new apex predator of the women's bantamweight division? Honestly, the fight can go either way. They're both bad matchups for each other. Nunes is a bad matchup in the sense that she's a big, strong Brazilian. That is Kayla's kryptonite because Ketlin put up a hard fight and Kayla lost to Pacheco. Nunes has the takedown defense. It's hard to close the distance on her and get her in the clinch. She's good at staying long and then keeping you at the end of her long, snappy punches, powerful punches, better striker. Also has good judo, good at getting sweeps, like wizard trips against the fence, even if you get her against the cage. Nunes is well-rounded. She's kind of got more ways to win than Kayla, but if there's anyone who can actually big sister Nunes and out-wrestle her, it's Kayla. And if anyone can submit Amanda on the ground, it is Kayla. So we'll see what happens. I mean, man, I'm still gutted for Pena. God, it sucks that this had to happen. And I hope they don't make Pena versus Dumont. Just make Pena versus Aldana. Have both my faves fight, but that's not going to happen. So instead, do Vieira versus Pena, and do Norma Dumont versus Raquel Pennington. Sacrifice Raquel to Norma. Pena can beat Ketlin Vieira. I swear. She can, on my mama, on my soul, bro, she beats Ketlin Vieira, but not Norma Dumont. At least I don't think. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. And yeah, I'm going to go to sleep and I'm going to cry in my pillow now and drown in my sorrows.